What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. I'll be one of your hosts this evening. Watching Paint Dry is the show where we hang out long after we should have thought about going to bed on a Saturday night and work through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures that we've accumulated over the years that requires painting. There's an old adage that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die, so we're just trying to stave off death for as long as possible. And joining me on the line, as always, my perennial painting partner, our resident monkey handler, it's Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you doing?
Not great, honestly. I'm happy to be here. Let me put it that way. We got some pretty stressful news, work-wise, this week, that has occupied most of my brain space for the last 24 to 48 hours. So I'm just happy to be doing something that makes me happy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. We've been accumulating miniatures through 3D printing and purchasing and Kickstarters and everything else. Every possible manner in which one might acquire miniatures. I just printed a whole bunch of new ones this week. Can't wait to show those off. But for now, I'm painting. I'm doing more work on the various and sundry Jeans Gray that we started last week. And Broody continues to be working on Stormlight Archives. So as with all the shows that we host here on the channel, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. So any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. Let's cut over to the document camera and paint some minis. Here we go. Hey, Blink, how's it going, my dude? I'm just going to preempt your kombucha time here. Oh, you did it. You got it. You got me. Cheers. It's a good job I ran to the kitchen. I didn't have it when we went live. So before we get too deep into this, I wanted to make note of the miniatures that I printed over the week because they're pretty darn cool. So I'm just going to move the jeans out of the way here for a minute. This is a Warhammer, I think, 5th edition Chaos Dwarf Blunderbussman. It's hard.
Okay.
I've started painting him, mostly due to boredom. I just did the red and got bored and moved on. The problem with the Chaos Dwarfs from 5th edition is they are insanely expensive. They're pewter. They've been discontinued since probably 2003-ish, and that's difficult to handle. So, like, each one of these runs somewhere in the vicinity of, like, I don't know, $10 per. I'll double check. I'm gonna do a fact check on that, because it's nuts. It's absolutely insane. For God's sakes.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just eBay is requiring my password. I'll just use my phone, because I know I can get it there. So, taking matters into my own hands, or rather the hands of somebody on the internet that I don't know, wow, blubber. I can't type and talk at the same time. Yeah, so taking matters into my own hands or the hands of someone I found on the internet. So I stand corrected. It is $30 per mini.
$30?
$30 per mini on the eBays for this particular sculpt, like this actual sculpt right here. Pat your head and rub your phone. Yeah, no, not doing that. That'd be a disaster. I'd probably spill my paint. So I found an STL of 7 different Chaos Dwarf Blunderbussmen, and they printed absolutely flawlessly. I, quite frankly, don't know, other than the fact that one is primed and painted, or started painting, I don't really notice much of a difference. This one, obviously, much heavier, but I am insanely happy with how these came out. They've got all 7 major sculpts of Blunderbussman. I'll pull out a few here. I'm just very, very happy that I was able to find that file and get those printed so cleanly. I also printed some more Chaos Dwarfy stuff. This is a bolt thrower. Very bog standard, but again, looks exactly like the fantasy one, the official one. In printing, I did snap off the arrowhead, so I had to fabricate a new one, but I think I did a pretty okay job. And of course, the hobgoblins that go with it. Slave hobgoblins. That's kind of the Chaos Dwarf way. They're really disgusting, Chaos Dwarfs. But there we are. So I'm very excited about that. So we'll get those primed and painted, probably off camera, honestly, because batch painting is not particularly exciting to watch. I would rather just paint these guys. First things first, today, I think I'm going to hit Jean, the one I was working on last week, with a little bit of ink. Just kind of seal things up a little bit on her. I'll put her aside, and then we can work on the X-Men cartoon version as well. So I think we're going to go green and yellow ink. This is a little bit more modern looking character, so I'm not just going to go egregious Nuln Oil everywhere. In fact, I may not even use Nuln Oil at all, which will be rare. RPD will be sad. Here's Beal Tangerine. Ink wash is still primarily using Citadel for that. Theirs are good. Oh, wait a minute. Why am I using that brush? That was stupid. I have wash brushes for this. At one point,
that would be too easy.
Right? At one point or another, my wash brushes were, regular brushes, regular circulation brushes, but once Adam and Ness got me the brushes I've been using for my birthday a few years ago, just haven't looked back. Actually, I think well, let's keep going with this for now. It really is unreal to me how detailed these 3D printed minis come, or can get.
Mm-hmm.
Like C27, absolutely knocking it out of the park detail-wise. They just dropped Gwen Stacy last week, and I like classic. I'm about to die, Gwen Stacy. That I'm very excited to print. Maybe this week.
Yeah, I need to get my printer up running again.
It's been a minute for me. I had to completely relearn the process and everything. But it was good. I'm glad I chose the Chaos Dwarfs to do it with, because there's a couple of things that I wanted to do differently. Especially in terms of getting them off the printer.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of made a mess that I wasn't pleased with. Boy, when you pick the right wash color, and everything just comes out peachy. So what have you been up to this week? What's good?
So let's see here. We started up MRIs at work.
Okay.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
We changed our we changed the scans we're getting, so now each scan is like, instead of hour and a half, it's only like 50 minutes.
Right on.
So now it's less like sitting around in the waiting time and more just constantly running back and forth, getting the monkeys from the housing to the scanners and back. So we're not just sitting around doing nothing for a bit. So
that's good.
Yes, I do not like the sitting around and waiting bit.
That's honestly yeah. A lot of my job involves hurry up and wait.
Mm-hmm.
Doing anything with IT, you're going to kind of expect that sort of shenanigans every now and again. But yeah, it's honestly, it's the worst part. Okay, where is my orange
So yeah, I'm excited about that new bit. We finished Hemlock Vale this morning.
Nice. How'd it go? No spoilers because we're gonna finish ours soon. But
we managed to win the scenario.
win question mark. That
Yeah.
bodes well.
But it was fun. Once again, the campaign as a whole was not one of my favorites. In terms of like story and writing and stuff, but I have enjoyed the actual scenarios have been fun to play. Although this one was like really convoluted,
The finale.
complicated. We spend like more time looking up rules than actually playing.
See, we found that too, even like just throughout the campaign as a whole. Like we've just been, I think I mentioned last time that we had to, like, we usually allow ourselves one mulligan. And then it's like if we're going in completely blind, like we've never experienced any of it, we'll give ourselves a little bit more leeway. We had to mulligan way more often, and mostly due to rules confusion.
Yeah. And in the last prelude for night 3, it was pretty much like a full scenario in and of itself. Not even the day 1 like prelude scenarios and stuff like that.
That's
so like we did the prelude and then did the actual scenario, and so we started at 10 o'clock. We had finished the prelude like at 12:30, and then moved on into the scenario and didn't finish till almost 4.
Ugh.
Because like the finale scenarios tend to be a little bit longer, but
sure.
Still.
Okay, so but noted though, because like Alex and Sammy and I are gonna play that, and we're gonna need to dedicate like a long time, and my wife's not gonna be happy about that. Well, there we are, I suppose. Oh, there's the brush I was looking for.
But yeah, I'm not sure how many people you have like on you're in good graces with, but we managed to only get like 1.
Yeah, we've only got 1, maybe 2.
Like we had one character that was up to like 4 out of 5.
Yep.
That we managed to get up to 5, and so she like survived the campaign.
Nice.
The rest of the ones like didn't show up at all. And
that's the problem we're having, is like people aren't showing up where we need them.
Yeah. So we like can't really interact with any. We like interacted with one that we had like a 1 out of 5 on, but then like we ended up losing our thing, so it dropped to 0 for that person. And we had like Theo the truck driver. He was at like 3 out of 5, but it wasn't enough in the like campaign, so he like came in as an enemy.
Yeah. And that's like I've been expecting that since day 1.
Yeah, I mean like the villagers have like the ally and enemy like double-sided cards, so I figured you would have. That wasn't spoilerific or anything.
Yeah,
so.
that one was obvious. No, Sammy is playing as Brock Sampson. I mean Hank Sampson, and he's definitely playing up the farm boy stuff because it's Sammy.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, shaky hands not helping here.
So now we've just got to start prepping up for our the next scenario next week.
Which is?
I think one of like me and like 2 of the other 4 people have like played everything.
Yeah.
I think the 4th guy, the only one he hasn't played is Dream Eaters. So I think we're moving on to that one.
Dream Eaters, nice.
So I
that
have
one
to
was
go
fun. I like that one a lot.
I do too. I don't like the swarming enemy mechanic, but for the most part,
for the most part, it's So I am using an orange-ish ink. It is branded as a yellow, but it is an orange-y tinted ink.
The Cassandra?
Yeah, it's Cassandra yellow. And the reason for that is her base is this giant phoenix. made of fire, which would be reflecting on her clothes. So where normally I might use a yellow contrast paint or a yellow speed paint as the ink on this, I'm going with Cassandora yellow because I think it does make sense here. Cassandora yellow, referring to the Comet of Cassandora, which is a, I want to say high magic spell in Warhammer Fantasy. All right, we got inks down. Probably have some patching to do. Oh wait, no, we don't. Hold on. Do her cheekies. I don't know if I can get her on camera well enough to do this, but I'm gonna try. All right, that's a little better. So, despite my insistence on, hey, remote error, what's up? Despite my wanting to have finished Metroid Prime by now, I remain stuck on the final boss. Not through any actual gameplay problems or skill problems, more just like my refusal to, or my desire to not play the run-up again. Like, the run-up was so brutally annoying. Notice I said annoying, not hard. That I just don't want to do it again. And I was like, man, I'm just going to leave this, but meanwhile, in the back of my brain, I'm hearing nothing but you want to play Mario Wonder. If you want to play Mario Wonder, you have to finish Metroid Prime. Because if I take the Metroid Prime card out of the Switch, I'll never put it back in.
Mm-hmm.
Despite how much I love the game, it's just like there's other things I want to play. And to mitigate that, I played all the way through Samus Returns. All right. Let me get a little glue out here. I don't like how she's not attached to this. Give that a second. Chilling this evening. Well, that's good. Chilling is good. Wish I could chill. I'm not very good at that. My students tell me I have no chill. Oh, so I got a Stream Deck.
Steam Deck? Well,
Stream Deck.
Portable
Stream Deck.
Stream Deck.
Yes, it is the USB-C like Stream Labs controller. So I don't have to have my iPad next to me anymore and keep smacking it every time I turn around.
Mm-hmm. That sounds cool.
Yeah, quite. Very happy with that. I don't have much programmed for it yet, but... Oh, that's a better way of putting it, RPD. Yeah, I have some chill. I just don't particularly enjoy using it. That's a really great way of saying it, actually. I like that a lot. Okay, so one of the things that strikes me about 90s cartoon Jean Grey is I think because of color restrictions with the animation software, etc. Her costume always looked like she was almost naked.
Oh yeah, because like the yellow bits look more like the flesh.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm going to do to sort of work around that is I'm going to use Capri Sunshine Yellow and mix it with some flesh color and see if I can replicate that. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to use this Vigor Blue Gray for the blue parts of her costume because I think that's just about right. Now, Adam would encourage me to use some cell shady techniques here. I'm not going to do that, just because it's going to look inconsistent with the rest of them. So I'm taking a few liberties here. I think I will probably try and do some cell shading stuff on the zombie side minis and like maybe the Gen 13 stuff that I've printed. It's going to look pretty yellow, remote error, but like it'll give me peace of mind to pull that off. It's basically I'm just paling down the yellow a little bit. And I can always add more yellow if I change my mind. I do think my hoodie's getting in the way, though. more than actually keeping me warm, because it's very warm in here.
Yeah, I finally had to turn on my AC.
Yeah, we get it. You live south of me.
Even that, I have it set to like 75.
Yeah, nailed it. Maybe I can put a little bit more halfling flesh in there. So we were looking at tickets to Portsmouth MiniCon 40, which is the Turtles celebration coming up next week. They wanted $75 a head.
For how many days?
One.
That's a bit excessive.
Yeah. So my buddies and I were like, yep, sorry, Ralph. Not gonna happen. So this one is actually an official Atomic Mass Games sculpt.
With the wonky base.
With the crazy base, yeah. but I think I found a way to manipulate it that I'm comfortable with. I think basically the pink stuff at the base that's kind of holding her up in the air, I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on with my finger. That seems to hold it pretty steady.
Yeah, I was mostly just trying to assemble it. That was a real pain.
Yes. Yeah, because the instructions were stupid, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I'm trying to finagle holding her with the 2 points and everything else like floating and stuff.
Yeah, it just didn't make
It
any
requires
sense.
like 3 hands, but yeah.
Skull and crossbones.
GW does make this little, like, device thing, emphasis on the device, that'll hold, you know, things steady for you, allegedly, but, like, I've never got it to work properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright, I do need to find another reference image, though. An interesting way of saying this one doesn't come with a funny name. Well, it does, but, okay. So indeed, her pants are also this yellowy business. And literally, they are that all over.
Bury my shell at wounded knee.
But needless to say, backtracking for a moment, Samus Return's actually a lot of fun. I know it gets a bit of a bad rep because it is a remake, and there's some mechanical strangeness with it, but I really like the way they redesigned that game. It was a great test platform for Mercury Steam to release, or to release something as a point of test before Dread.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting for... So I got the replacement USB-C charger for my Nomad. Didn't work either. And some troubleshooting back and forth with the guy who makes it. We think might be due to the batteries that I bought for it. He thinks one or both of them might have come damaged in some way, allowing it not to charge. Because they should work. And he tested it before he sent it to me, so I bought some different batteries. We're going to try those. If those don't work, then I've got a third set that I'm going to try and buy. But I'm really determined to make this work because the only other USB-C option for Nomad is not ideal. I guess it works, but the seller takes forever to build them. which kind of stinks.
Neon Knight Riders.
When I would like to be able to use my Nomad. Not that I can't. I mean, I could have it tethered right now, but
Yeah.
that's not ideal either.
Ideal.
Come on, Sega, think things through. All right. That's the yellow done.
So I did watch Rebel Moon Part 2 yesterday.
What's that?
It's Zack Snyder's movie on Netflix. That's when he like pitched a Star Wars movie to Disney, and they told him no. So he went to Netflix and was like, "We can change the names and still do this."
Interesting.
So Part 1 came out back in October-ish,
Mm-hmm.
Starbase.
and Part 2 just came out yesterday.
Right on.
It
And
was
the verdict?
all right.
Okay.
Like, not great, but it was very cliche. It's basically Seven Samurai
Yeah.
or Magnificent Seven or whatever basic plot. So, like, the first movie was like the problem I had with it was essentially all the lead up without the actual defending the town bits at the end.
Right.
So it's just like going around gathering everyone, and this movie was all of the let's fight the bad guys with
Huh.
everyone. Yeah, it had some interesting like world building and stuff like that, but
Yeah. But not where you wanted it to be.
yeah. It could have very easily been condensed down to just one movie instead of being two 2-hour movies.
Yeah. I did not watch much of anything this week. I am forcing myself to try and watch the previous X-Men movies before Deadpool comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I've forgotten so much about them.
Yeah.
Boy, The Last Stand is it's rough.
Yeah.
And like watching the scenes with Sean Ashmore and Elliot Page are really uncomfortable too, because you can tell that that Elliot Page is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to watch Juno recently too, and I was like, ugh, this is difficult for everybody, very clearly. I'm doing zoom out here because I can't see what I'm doing. No, I'll just blue too. Okay, so this paint ended up being a little more gray than I was hoping, but I think I can fix it with Drakenhof Nightshade and some highlighting.
Mm-hmm.
Technodrome. The final shell shock.
So I'm not super worried about it.
No.
Thinking things through was reserved for the Saturn, as long as it's Vision, the 32-bit feature. Oh, my Sega Think Things Through comment. My parents have headed down your way.
Yeah? Where are they going?
Outer Banks. Same as ever.
Nice.
They arrived safely this evening. And my wife and I are headed up to her parents on Friday. So, incidentally, no stream next week.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's my week scheduled to work, so
Oh,
I
so
would
that
not
works
be
out.
able to talk for that.
Cool. I think I may need to go to a smaller brush. Aggravatingly. So we did get that surprise Nintendo Indie World this week. Anything interesting that you saw?
No, I did not see anything. I did not know about this.
Oh, okay. So Nintendo, it seems, has decided to play very fast and loose with their marketing this year. We have utterly no, other than Princess Peach Showtime, which is out now, we have no idea what they're up to for first-party stuff this year. And normally we get, like, a February direct outlining, the first couple of months.
Yeah.
And they did a partner showcase instead. And they continue to be cagey and shady with stuff by dropping an indie world. I did see there's a Metroidvania from Atari coming out based on the Atari 2600 game Yar's Revenge. I have no idea how it's connected, but like, cool, great. Like, Metroidvania from Atari, sign me up.
Mm-hmm.
But like, genuinely, I'm so baffled by Nintendo this year. Even their reps are like, what are we even doing? A friend of mine is a rep for Nintendo. She said she recently had to do a Yoshi's Crafted World like splash, which has been out since almost launch.
Yeah.
Did the indie world contain a Bakugan game like that one that I keep dredging up? No, not this time, RPD. Alright, time to switch to a smaller brush. Getting into the nitty gritty here. Hydrate first. Out of curiosity, did either of you stop to watch the Stop Skeletons from Fighting video? No. About train controllers? No. It was a journey. What channel did you post it in, RPD? Okay. If I have time, I'll take a look. You know I love a good journey. I took Alex on a journey tonight.
Where's that?
So somehow my infinite ADHD of it all, my head got stuck in a pattern of who would win in a fair fight. Fair fight, right? So power levels scaled to each other. Cthulhu or Godzilla? And boy, did that one go down the rabbit hole. We started examining, like, Lovecraft Pantheon versus Godzilla Pantheon.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Right?
Because the whole, like, you're saying, like, to make it fair, you're going to have to scale down.
Yeah, you have to
So
scale Cthulhu down.
Yeah, Cthulhu's obviously going to be weakened, but what exactly does scaling down Cthulhu entail?
Look like, yeah. My assumption is that you'd basically say, okay, you can't, neither one of you can destroy the world. Like, that's cheating. Taito has a series of train simulators, and they have many models of special train. Weird. PS4. That's strange. Bordering on an adventure. Yeah. Alright, we're getting there. I figured this pose would be really annoying to paint. It's actually really easy. Music has killed itself. Going by in Japan sales alone, this Train Sim series is Taito's second biggest franchise after Space Invaders. Wow. Oh, shoot, I missed a bit. A little black. Don't need to go all the way to max Darth, but we need a little black. We are not governed by who we think we are type movement, yeah. No kidding. That seems like it might be clogged. Rather not pull an Adam. Adam had a bit of a spillage this week. Adam and Shamali and I have set up a ancillary paint night for us to do painting and other things, other idle chit chat. Night that we don't have to have our heads on, and we can just that's when I'll do my batch painting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Much.
Okay. Anything else need to be black? Not really. Okay. Red next. I'm just gonna go with blood rights.
Excuse me.
So we had our big Gen Con planning meeting today, or this week.
Mm-hmm.
I now know things about stuff. I'm excited about it. Not all I can say about the subject, though. For now. That will certainly change soon. But I presume you're not going to be able to make it again?
I do not know. When is it this year? August?
1.
Okay.
I'll give you some information off camera when we're done that may or may not help make your decision.
Okay.
Japan's done here. Yeah, I think I stopped this mid thought earlier. I'm gonna paint her, and then treat the psychic slashes as part of her base. So I'll do that separately.
Mm-hmm.
I think that chunks it out a little bit nicer for me. I'm very nearly done with her base coating already. I say already, we're an hour into the stream. I still have to do the heavy detail work around her eyes. All right, a little bit of patching. So here's a question for you. Apropos of absolutely nothing at all, just popped into my head. There are some movie franchises out there, and TV franchises as well, that are absolutely, like, sacred. You don't touch them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yet Hollywood, of course, insists on touching them anyway. But, point aside, if you could stop Hollywood from making... from rebooting or remaking any one thing, what would it be?
Is it too late to say Star Wars?
Okay. I mean, yeah, it is, because they've already done it. But yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. Let's say something other than Star Wars, then. Just because we've already lost that war.
Yeah. Man, there's so many that it's like trying to think of one that hasn't been done already.
Right?
Is the hard part. I would have really liked them to not touch Men in Black anymore after like the first three. Even the third one was kind of iffy, but then it just
There
got
was a
blown out.
fourth one?
Yeah, there was one with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson or something.
Yeah.
Like MIB International, and that one was just
real
But like the
bad.
third one, while I was skeptical of, like it really blew me out of the water. Like it was done really well, and Josh Brolin as Kay was just phenomenal.
He was funny, yeah. What's going on with this paint pot? There we go. We're okay. We're good. Just mix up a poor man's version of what I did with the orange I did last week. That is not it. That's just mud. Come on.
But yeah, that is a really hard question, especially given nowadays so many of the things that would have been on that list have just already been done.
Yeah.
Like trying to think of anything that they haven't done is like the hard part.
Yep. Pretty much. Still not orange enough. That's a little better. Shoot.
What about you? What would you try to save?
The Oceans franchise. Which, of course, has also
It's
already
already
touched.
been. Yeah.
Oceans 13 was fun.
Yeah.
Oceans 12 was like, well, it's the cast back together again. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But Oceans 8 was gratuitous and wrong. And I guess they're doing another one.
And to be honest, at least like Ocean's 11. Well, even the George Clooney one was like a remake of a much older version.
Yes, that's true. It was. It was a Frank Sinatra.
But at that point in time, they hit up like 11, 12, and 13 in relatively quick succession.
Yes.
Like in terms of like a franchise running.
Right.
As opposed to there was like the gap where 8 was more of like a reboot or relaunch.
Yeah. And there was a draft, I guess, of Ocean's 8 where Matt Damon's character was supposed to show up. But that never happened because of reasons, I guess.
Linus or something.
Linus Caldwell, yeah. AKA Junior Varsity. Which I think is the funniest nickname you could give a criminal. Let's do her face and we'll move on here. Oh. Good job I looked at the camera and missed a bit.
I really need to retire this brush.
I need to retire a lot of my brushes. And yet, here we are. I'm too broke to do so.
Like, the thing is, I've got several lying around that I could use.
Yeah.
But, like, this one is just, like, I've used it for so long that, like, it's feeling my hand and stuff is...
Yep, it's just an extension of your...
So even though the bristles and stuff are starting to, like, really splay out and...
God, I can't believe the coverage of this yellow from TT Combat. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
When I can go over an admittedly very dark blue and have the bristles still work, I'm like, okay, that's something else. Jean has green eyes?
Yep.
I did not know that. I guess I need to do this. Where is it? Learning and growing.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like one of those common combined traits, like red hair and green eyes.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Am I going straight for ogre bogey green? I think I might be. Let's see if I can get this. Okay.
So I also went Thursday night to go see the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
I am not familiar with that. What is that?
It is based, air quotes, on a true story. So back in 2016, a bunch of Winston Churchill's like classified files got declassified
Oh, interesting.
from World War II. And so someone had, I forget, wrote like the author's name, but wrote a book about it. Essentially, like a group of unsanctioned British military personnel that was kind of like the blueprint for like more modern day Black Ops warfare type stuff.
Oh, that's crazy.
So yeah, like this, so it's like based off of the first mission where like these unsanctioned people like went to go do a mission for Churchill to change the course of World War II essentially, by sabotaging a bunch of U-boats. So, like the Nazis lost their stranglehold on the Atlantic.
Interesting.
It does feature like one of the people involved in it was Ian Fleming.
Oh, cool.
From his actual days, like in the British naval like intelligence agency. Like one of the characters they like posited was like a strong influence on James Bond, essentially. That's the character that Henry Cavill played.
Oh, it's Henry Cavill. Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
see if I can find an even smaller brush here.
But it was enjoyable. I really like Guy Ritchie, but this didn't really feel like a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah.
It didn't have a lot of his like signature sort of director imprint.
Yeah.
It was still a serviceable and fun movie, but
Could have been better.
yeah. It also felt like it felt like a heist movie without like the setup,
Oh, interesting.
which is like an important part of like the heist. It seemed like they were just going and then like doing their mission, and that was that.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Can't tell for sure. Completely screwed that up. Let's see. I'm deep in the focus tank here. I get her eyes to cooperate, and I think I got it.
Eyes are tricky. All of these female characters that I've been painting yesterday are all like the like high ladies of court, and so they're all
Oh,
like
God.
tons with makeup and other stuff like that. So I've been doing my best.
Well, one of the problems that I face is I don't know how to do makeup in the first place.
Yep.
Like, she unfortunately doesn't wear a whole lot of makeup, especially when she's in costume. Although her lips are pretty red. Let's see if I can do that now, actually. Oh, crap. Dad, stop it! This brush just desperately wants to be on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Patch this up just a little bit more before we move on. So I think this right here is part of what's bothering me. Absolutely is. There we go. That's way better. It's funny how sometimes the geometry of like what's around someone's face, if you make a slight symmetry error, it makes the whole face look garbage.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. I'm gonna try and. This could absolutely ruin everything, but it actually work okay too. Riser. Off in a slightly weird direction, but I'm not upset about it. Not upset enough about it to actually make a change. Now, of course, I have absolutely no idea how I want to ink this. I mean, her hair is straightforward. I can start there. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. You know, assuming I can find what I do with this. There it is.
Of course. Wait. Before I wash.
What's that?
I was about to start washing. I'm like, wait a minute. I need to do the buttons and stuff.
Oh dear. All right. The question is, do I? Okay. All right. Where is Drakenhof Nightshade? Okay, that worked really, really well. Let me see what contrast it is. That's an interesting noise.
Yeah. I was trying to do a purple tone over the purple cloak,
Oh yeah.
but I don't think the purple tone is like dark enough purple to really work.
Oh.
So I'm going to attempt using Druchii Violet and see if that is a bit darker and will work.
Druchii Violet is a choice. This
Yeah, I
so
think that's
my
working a little bit better.
ploy of using contrast paints on the yellow is working. Just be very, very specific with it.
probably be good enough for the rigs.
Just for detail purposes.
What? No oil time.
Ah. And there it is.
What?
Here I've been avoiding using Nolan oil on these two minis, and you're coming through in the clutch. Making sure it gets its representation. I'm actually reasonably happy with that. Oops, wrong place. You go over there. You go over here. For now. Next big 3D printing project is to get these Citadel paints out of my flipping way. Who's that? Sorry, I'm just checking in on the NHL playoffs here.
Not a problem.
NHL. Yep. All right. Looks like both our teams won.
That's good.
Yeah. Take it. Bruins over Maple Leafs 5-1. Canes over Islanders 3-1. Okay. Now. How translucent? It is pretty translucent. I could just do that. Yeah, no. I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit on this Phoenix base. I think what I'm actually going to do is just paint it gray. Fire happens over tarmac. Just Mechanicus standard.
Not Jean Grey?
Say again?
Not Jean Grey?
Go to bed.
Flesh Shade.
Question is that going to work? I think it will. Once I get... Yeah, where's my Mechanicus standard gray? That's not it. Oh. It's right in front of me, isn't it? Oh, that's given by Dinge. Well, where is my Mechanicus Standard Gray? That's not it. That's not it. That's not supposed to be there. I think some rearranging of the old paint rack is in order. Here it is. Stupid Citadel paints. Big brush. That'll do. Alright, does that accomplish what I want to? Yes, it will. Cool. So I'm painting this up basically just like a standard tarmac base.
Mm-hmm.
And then putting the translucent orange phoenix over the top of it. Actually looks pretty dope. And she's actually going to end up having a green base ring. Just to offset the reds that I'll use. I do need to re-examine my method for painting fire, however. Because it turns out lava and fire are actually two different things, two different techniques. And the question is, where does the yellow turn to orange and vice versa? Ow. Oh, that looks flipping cool.
Yeah, that looks great. Do you have a light behind it?
No.
Or is that just from your rig?
That's just my rig.
Yeah. For a second there, it looked like it was like glowing a little bit more, like you put something right
hang
behind
on.
it.
Yeah, I wonder if I can... If I do something like... Oh, hold on. Something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a little too much, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not diffused through the entire
Right.
Phoenix
Yeah, it
bit,
should be
so-
more like that.
Yeah, you want it like coming straight out the bottom of the base, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like the lighter stuff needs to be toward the center. Is that how that's going to work? Okay, what am I sitting on? Oh, my sweatshirt that I took off halfway. Within the first hour of the stream. That was, Just putting them side by side, I actually think they look pretty rad. Alright, so... Now the question becomes... highlighting. Do I...
Probably drill like a small little hole in the base and like put an LED in there.
Believe me, I'm considering it. That would look flipping cool. I'm going to mess with dry brushing a little bit here. Go ahead and put the wet palette right away. So I don't think I'm going to be getting back to it tonight. Probably later in the week, because I do want to finish X-Men Animated Series Jean Grey. And her colors are safely stowed away in there. So, wet palette out. Dry brush stuff in. I figure if I dry brush the Phoenix now, I can at least get her glued to it, and then I can do the rest of her highlighting with the paint handle, which will make things a little bit easier, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to require much, I don't think. Just a couple of little bits here and there. Yellows mostly, a little bit in her hair. Her face looks really good. Okay, right. So I guess I should shake the paint first. Probably a good place to start, right?
Shaking paint, yeah.
Wait a minute. I have a special dry brush for reds. They go all over. And they stain. Oh, I should move her out of the way so the spray doesn't all over the place. Yeah, okay, so it's lighter colors toward the inside. Got it. Oh.
Okay, how is my wash drying? Still pretty wet. I'm not
Your
sure I'm
wash?
gonna get. Yeah, I washed. I ran the wash over her.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on it to dry,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still pretty wet.
Yeah. That's part of why I didn't want to continue with Jean or with Phoenix, because I want that wash, like that Cassandora yellow does dry actually fairly yellow,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still pretty orange right now, so it's indicating to me that it needs a little bit more time. Boy, adding a little bit of dry brush to this really just makes it sing. And we're going to add a lot of dry brushing. The nice thing about painting fire or lava or anything like that, where it's just dry brushing, is it doesn't have to be perfect. It just kind of go.
Yep.
If you happen to go a little bit too heavy somewhere, no big deal. I tell you though, this translucent orange resin that Faye bought for Adam is terrific.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's grab a different color now. I don't think we need too much in the way of orange, but I got this Wild Rider red over here that I can try. Kind of a mid-tone here. not very. Yellow is really where it's going to come out. Alright, yellow goes toward the edges, right? That actually looks really freaking cool.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yep.
One more in the wing here. Ooh. That's right. It's gonna cover it up. Yeah, you can see the detail a lot better now. That's what I was going for with that, more than anything else. So now the question becomes, what does the question become? Probably do base ring now. Well, wait a minute. No, I shouldn't, because I'm going to pop that into the paint handle and finish the rest of the mini up. Once I figure out how she attaches. How/where. I think it's right here. Let me take a look. Oh, shoot. That's just a screen capture. It's not a window capture. That was stupid. There we go. Gonna have to go way the heck back, though. There she is. Hot wings. So it looks like she glues on by her foot in a specific... Ah, there it is. Right there. Both feet. Okay, let's do that. All right. Well. X jeans gray. It would help if she was actually going to stick to the base. Come on, stick. I'm both on camera at the same time? Yes, I can. I'm actually pretty happy with these so far. Still work to be done. Camera is distorting them a little bit, but it's okay. I don't know about you, man, but I am fading fast here.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. I'm just kind of touch highlighting some spots right quick. But I'm ready to call it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you RPD for keeping things wacky as usual. Broody, this is always a highlight of my week. As I said at the top of the show, it's been a rough couple of days, so it's nice to do something that I know I'm good at, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we will be not live next week. I will be live on Monday for Last Case of Benedict Fox. Loving that. Circus Electric just wasn't quite doing it for us. It's a great game, but it's not. It's just not. It's too grindy to be streamable. So we're gonna take a break from that. We might come back to it at some point. I hope I do, but I'm not upset if we put it away for a while. And then, yeah, Friday and Saturday I'm away and Broody has work, so we will not be streaming Friday or Saturday. Back to regularly scheduled stuff the following week. At any rate, thank you for watching. Take care, be safe, be well, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.
See ya.